Welcome to the Contrarian Capitalist channel. Hopefully you're doing well. Just go over an article from GB News. I don't normally give mainstream media a lot of credit. I'll try not to give mainstream media a lot of credit, but I have to say that they have got this article relatively spot on. And it's a rent warning here in the UK, saying that millions are facing huge hikes this year as landlords are forced out of the property market. Now, I've got a bit of an interest in the property industry over here in the UK, and I'm not surprised to see this article come up. So why are rents going to increase? Well, there's a multitude of reasons why rents are going to increase. And the article from GB News points out that, if we just scroll down, that they mentioned EPC changes, so changes to energy performance certificates here in the UK. So the government want to have rental property that has a rating of at least C. So if you're not familiar with energy performance certificate ratings, you normally get a band of anywhere between A, which is the highest and most energy efficient, and G, which is terrible. Most homes in the UK are a D banding. The government want to make that a C banding. Now, on paper, that sounds quite easy, but actually, in order to get to the level where you're a C, that can involve thousands and thousands of pounds. And quite a few landlords, quite simply, won't have that finance and that capital available to improve their properties. And even if they did, because your return on investment is more than likely going to be very minimal, why would you even consider doing it in the first place? But because the government are forcing these changes on us, then a lot of people are just going to sell up. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, as is pointed out here, tax changes. So particularly for portfolios held in a limited company. There's been all different sorts of tax changes here in the UK recently. Section 24, where you could legitimately offset mortgage interest against income and bits and pieces like that. You're not able to do that anymore. It's either been phased out or the last phase is 2024. I do laugh when it says growing adverse public opinion about landlords. Yes, of course, because you have to remember that all landlords anywhere in the globe, they're all greedy, right-wing capitalist pigs. I'll hold my hands up to that. Yes, I'm a greedy, right-wing capitalist pig. I do apologise. Landlords are very easy to bash on, 100%. It's probably the same, not in the UK, but certainly here in the UK. It's very easy to quickly bash landlords. They're evil people. How dare they decide to have a property business? How dare they decide to make currency from people, bad people? That's normally what we get here. Something else that the report goes through, or the article says, increasing maintenance and repair costs due to inflation, as well as the removal of Section 21. So Section 21 is basically a landlord saying, hey, I want my property back. Here's a notice to a tenant to say, I want my property back. You might have not done anything wrong. Maybe I'm looking to renovate it. Maybe I'm looking to sell it. I just want my property back. This normally works well with trickier tenants, to say the least. But sometimes a landlord might just want their property back. What people are looking to do is they're looking to remove Section 21. So in a nutshell, that means it becomes even more difficult for a landlord to get their property back. And if you do have a tenant in there that's not paying rent and you're then not able to get them out of the property, that can make it quite an untenable situation. So it's another factor that's working against the landlord. It goes on to say, I believe, higher interest rates, which obviously make mortgages look more expensive and savings more attractive, is possibly driving the exodus as well. Yeah, I'd say that is fair. Higher interest rates, high cost of borrowing, high cost of business in general, they're going to have an impact. The goes on to say, Mr. Alan goes on to say that the impact of such a large number of landlords leaving would be far-reaching. Well, absolutely. Let's look at the simple economics of this. If landlords are wanting to uproot and sell their portfolio, the chances are that there might be a deluge of properties that come onto the market. Well, that's okay, but the people that are buying them are not necessarily going to be renting them. The people that are buying them might be first-time buyers, or they might be people moving house. What happens is, if you take the rental stock off the market, you are decreasing that supply, but at the same time, your demand is probably going to remain the same, if not, is going to have increased. So economics 101, if the demand remains the same or increases, yet you are changing the supply, you're decreasing the supply, economics 101, the price of something will go up. So in this case, rents will go up 100%. Not literally 100%, but they will go up. It's a certainty that they will go up. And the result of that, and you can see this coming, is that, again, landlords are going to be blamed for this. Well, why should they be? This is only landlords responding to too much government intervention, too many rules and regulations in the market in the first place. The sad ironic thing of all of this is that the government has come in and has said, we need to look after the renters, we need to protect them more, we need to be able to do X, Y, and Z. But of course, what they haven't taken into consideration is that the exact policies that they're trying to implement, more taxes, more changes within the property industry themselves, what that's going to do is going to have an adverse effect on the very people renting. So again, rents are going to increase as a result of all this intervention and all of these rules and regulations. And the frustrating thing is that landlords are going to get beaten over the head by this, because a lot of people are just going to assume this is the landlord's fault. It's not. This falls at the feet of government. 100%. It falls at the feet of a government. Even the increase in interest rates fall at the feet of government because of their response to the pandemic a couple of years ago. They've instructed the Bank of England to print off a shed load of currency. So the Bank of England are no much better in this. And as a result of that, too much currency chasing fewer goods or the same level of goods means that inflation increases. And as a result of that, this is what we're seeing in 2023. So I give GB News here some kudos for reporting this and saying that actually there's a rent warning coming. This is why. But what they don't do, and this is a shame in the article, is that they don't go on and say, well, actually, this is a result of government intervention. This is a result of government action. This is a result of the government's tentacles reaching into things they shouldn't be reaching in. And also the Bank of England increasing interest rates in response to government printing, or government telling the Bank of England to print millions and millions of pounds, given everything that's gone on in the last couple of years. So a little bit of a good shout out to GB News. Ultimately, they could have gone one better and called out the government and called out the Bank of England. But this is going to be happening over here. Chances are that you are going to have rental issues no matter where you live as well. Thank you very much for listening. Like and subscribe to the channel. Share this channel and this content with others, and see you in the next video.